check out what I got. Just got back from Goodwill and I bought this used Fujinon Techno-Stabi image stabilized binoculars for a cool $130. Honestly, I think I overpaid for this. After I took it home and inspected this and discovered that the battery pack was a mess. The battery inside was all corroded and destroyed the contacts inside, so I had to do a lot of cleaning up. So let's check out the battery pack here, and as you can see, it's been MacGyvered because the battery latch is broken and the battery was corroded. It leaked and destroyed all the brass plating on the contacts here, so I had to clean that out. And surprisingly, this binocular only uses 2 AA batteries. I thought it would use some type of lithium ion or like 4 AA's, but 2 AA's is sufficient for this binoculars. And let's figure this out. So I definitely got what I paid for. Velcro this back, so just like that. So I don't know what I'm gonna do, whether I can find a replacement for this, for the lock over here, or I'm gonna have to live with the Velcro. So you just put your hand right there and that's how it looks. That's how you grab this binoculars. Kind of bulky looking and heavy at that. So this is the Fujinon Techno-Stabi 12x32 5 degrees, and the way you power this on is you press and hold the power button and that light starts blinking, and once it turns solid you can then activate the image stabilization or the internal gimbal via this lever. Now it's inactive and the light turns green, and now the view through the binoculars is stabilized. And let me tell you, the view is amazing. It's like when you're taking a video with your camera, digital camera, and you turn on the optical image stabilization, the way it smooths out the movement. That's pretty much what you see with this one. It's really amazing. And you got the focus knob here, and you got the interpupillary distance here, and it's very stiff. To adjust this, and it's just like your regular binoculars, only bulkier. You got the diopter adjustment here and eye cups. Lens coating looks pretty modern, all green. Both objectives and the eyepieces fully multi-coated. So the way the image stabilization works is that it has a internal gyro or a gimbal that stabilizes the prism inside. Here's a cool demonstration of Fujinon's image stabilization technology. So the prism is riding on a gimbal, and when the image stabilization is off, the gimbal is locked just like a regular binoculars. And once you enable the image stabilization, the gimbal is free to move both in the y-axis and x-axis. The combination of vibration sensors and gyro position sensors, it coordinates the movement of the gimbal to counteract the vibration or the hand tremors that normally occurs when you're hand holding the binoculars. Looking on the internet for information about these binoculars, I spotted this picture of the Nikon stabilized 12x32, which looks a lot like the Fujinon Techno-Stabi. So I'm guessing Fujinon manufactured this for Nikon? Question mark. Well, regardless, Fujinon claims to be the first binoculars company to ever made a stabilized binocular, so I'll take their word for it. So let's give this thing a quick weigh in. 1100 grams, that's heavy. Or 40 ounces. Most 10x42 binoculars weigh about half that, around 24 ounces. This thing's heavy. Let's go over the specs. This is a Poro Prism binoculars. All lenses are fully multi-coated. Field of view is 5 degrees with 3 degrees of motion compensation. Exit pupil of 2.7 millimeters. Eye relief is 15 millimeters from the eye lens surface or 12 millimeters from the eye cups. Diopter adjustment of plus and minus 3. Interpupillary distance adjustment of 53 to 74 millimeters. These binoculars can focus as close as 11.5 feet. And running on AA batteries, 2 of them. Runtime is spec'd at 6 hours. This weighs at 2.5 pounds, almost twice as much as a 10x42 binocular, so it's heavy. This is waterproof and nitrogen purged. And here's a couple of demonstrations showcasing the binoculars in action. On the left, we got the image stabilization off, and to the right, we got the image stabilization turned on and clearly visible. The image on the right is much more smoother, more steadier. And here's the rocking test where I'm moving my entire body left and right just to simulate the rocking motion when you're on a boat out in the sea. This is the worst case scenario. 3 degrees of anti-vibration is doing a pretty good job. Here's some panning shots on a tripod. The view quality is top notch, very similar in performance as the Oberwerk SE 10x42 binoculars I reviewed a few months back. The view is very sharp, up to 80% of the field of view from the center and going out to the edge of field, and degrades very little in the remaining 20%. There is really not much I can complain about the view. Aberrations are well controlled, no objectionable field curvature or any type of distortion detected. This is the kind of performance I expected from Fujinon. Definitely my new benchmark from now on. I was surprised how good the view is despite having a movable prism. I've heard of Canon's liquid prisms on their earlier generation stabilized binoculars, which resulted in variable image sharpness. Not the case with the Fujinon with its glass prisms. Overall, I'm impressed. The 2.5 pounds weight can be a drag. It was probably forgivable when these binoculars first came out years ago. You sacrifice the weight for a steadier view, which is more important when you're out on a boat or a helicopter, you name it, and you're trying to identify something bobbing in the water while you're also moving. I believe this is Fujinon's first generation Techno-Stabi model, and they have since released newer models in the series with updated specs. The most obvious being the weight and size have been cut drastically down, the weight down to half, so yes to that. Thank you for watching. Please give the video a thumbs up to let others know this is good stuff. And if you didn't like it, comment down below and let me have it. Also subscribe to my channel if you want to be notified of any future videos that I release. You'll be the first to know. Okay, until next time, see ya.